St. Bernard's Catholic Church. It's one of the most beautiful churches in Northeast Ohio. And right now I'm sitting directly across from it. And to my right is the University of Akron's Polymer Science Building. Polymer Science facility at the University of Akron is one of the nation's foremost in research in engineering. And as I sit here, I sit literally in the middle of these two worlds, this dichotomy by which our society is struggling. We're pulled both towards our faith, the mythic, and towards our science, the realist. Behind me is the National Inventors Hall of Fame. It's a monument and a testament to our scientific achievements. But our core, the core of humanity, doesn't lie in science. It lies in our mythic nature. Joseph Campbell wrote, "The psychological character of our species, the most evident distinguishing sign, is man's organization of his life according primarily to mythic, and only secondary economic, aims and laws. Unlike other animal species, humanity survives beyond just living." Campbell cites human achievements that do little to further the species or to provide assistance for one another. The cathedrals of the Middle Ages, the pyramids of both Egypt and the Americas, Hindus regarding cows as sacred, or the still mysterious Great Serpent Mound, or Stonehenge. None of these are a part of practical living. These are all examples of work for the spirit, work for the mythic and mystical aspects of humanity. First factor of people's leanings towards mythology are that of understanding one's own mortality. And even though the individual may die, that the society will continue on. The other two factors are a matter of social order and the experience of humanity in nature. Right here, we're standing in an example of social order, an industrialized society, with the remnants of what was once a bridge to cross a river. But meanwhile, in this same place, we're also standing in a way to experience nature, a nature that has been framed and structured by people. And now we're here in raw nature. And while that's not the kind of distinction that Campbell was trying to make, it at least illustrates the point that even within a short distance, people could experience different forms of nature, different society, and that creates the kind of difference in their mythology. Joseph Campbell believed that the beginning of the end of the era of the old mythology and maps and understanding of the world began in 1492 with Columbus discovering the Americas for Europeans. Since then, science has taken hold and a tremendous amount of understanding has been brought forth from science, but still even more questions. We believe in science as a means to truth, and that has brought about a change in perception about myth being true, at least in the provable sense. Myth has more meaning in our society as a means of entertainment, and we have created a new secular system of worship. Popular culture has continued to produce myth in a variety of media. More recently, popular television programs such as Lost and Heroes have given us new looks at old myth and made some of their own. These programs follow the principles outlined by Campbell in that they recognize mortality, account for social order, and reflect the natural and/or supernatural experiences of the characters. On Lost, we meet characters who are placed on a sacred and mysterious island, unable to be found easily. The island has powers of healing, a mysterious, unaging native people, monsters, and the ability to move within time and space. Some of its powers can be scientifically understood, and some cannot. Science has attempted to study it, and the island and its natives destroyed the people who tried to do these things. The people who lived there before, and these new survivors of a plane crash that has landed there, are learning about one another and the properties of the island. The dead and even the non-existent find life on the island. Both science and faith are challenged here, but faith, belief, and service to the island are ultimately what is examined in the course of the story as it unfolds. On Heroes, some people of the world are suddenly evolving with superhuman abilities. These abilities distinguish them from the rest of us. But most of our new heroes are living in secret, trying to hide the gifts that they have. The names of the characters on Heroes teaches us a little bit about each of their purposes. The first hero that we ever meet is Peter Petrilli. Both his surname and his first name are derivatives of Peter. Peter was Christ's highest apostle and the rock upon which he built his church. Peter is an ultimate savior as he gains powers the same powers from all of those he works with to help. Peter's ultimate enemy is Siler. Siler means a rope maker, and indeed Siler is tying together his powers as well. Like Peter, he gains powers from those he encounters, but instead of through help, it's through their murder. A third character who gives us a clue to her identity with her name is Claire Bennett, the cheerleader. Bennett is a last name meaning blessed one. The hero's first collective mission is to save the cheerleader, save the world. Her uncle is Peter Petrilli, though she doesn't know it when they both meet. Both Claire and Peter, as a result of him having helped her, have both the power to regenerate and the ability to share that with others through their blood. Our belief in science as the ultimate truth, a way in which all can be proven or disproven, has left us with myth as being a place of fiction and amusement, but not necessarily the truth it has been in the past. Perhaps this is the beginning of the end of some new era.